Well, welcome back to another episode of corru.observer. And today, in this episode of corru.observer, we are going to go observe the collapse, where we have last saved in golem maintenance. Hello there. Hold on. You are turning to face me. That's a little odd. I mean, I guess that's what you do. But also you are like somehow seemingly aware of the interloper situation. So that's a little odd as a thought form. But alas. Also, this is just really fun to do. Like, what is even happening in here? This is just so fun. Okay, so spatial navigation. Let's go here. I talked to Moss last, I think, right? Now, there is something that I did want to say as I just walk in circles here, because that's what I do. I love walking in circles. Maybe I'll walk in circles a little bit slower, though. Or maybe I'll spin around really, 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 really fast. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, but in seriousness, I was at work today, all right? This is what I do. I do, surgeries and stuff. I assist with them. I don't do the surgeries. But, so I'm in there. I'm doing surgeries. It's happening, right? And I'm like, damn. I wonder what's going on in corru.observer. That's what I think. And I'm like, there's gotta be something I'm missing. Because I'm thinking about everything I put together in the last episode, which was last night for me. And I was like, there's kind of two puzzle pieces going on at like the same time. And I think I realized they might actually go together. Because if you think about it, the call is doing this, right? Or not the call, I guess what I should say is Velzy. And by Velzy, I mean the smiley. It's simply, I found is simply easier to refer to them as Velzy because, I don't know. It's at least a name and not just Smiley. I genuinely don't like the name Smiley as a name. And I don't know what else to call them. So, our little Velzy friend, right? Clearly it's Velzy who's doing this, but it's also being built up a little bit that somehow Akazit could have been a cause to this, that somehow Kavik could have had, like, something to do with this, maybe. Something to do with something, right? Oh gosh, what am I even staring at when I look out here? Like, this is so cool. Anyways, here's what I was thinking. Maybe what I'm missing here is a cause for Velzy to have suddenly started doing this, right? It's pain, it's betrayal. And at first I was assuming this is just like an overall thing. This is what the call has been, the call has been doing the whole time. It's because of or at least, all of this profane use of Corru, maybe? Something like that, it's a living thing. That's kind of a theory I'm kind of working with here. That said, it is interesting that this is happening not too long after we gave our device to Gordon, right? And I don't know if it's exact. So that line of thinking didn't make sense to me either, right? Because I was like, I don't think there's no way the humans could be doing anything like that. Clearly, it's Velzy. But then I didn't realize something. And I guess you could say what I didn't realize was like, what if somehow that device, it's experimental, right? What if somehow that device was somehow like crossing a line in its utility? What if it was simply used? It crossed some sort of line or boundary that's wakened Velzy up, maybe, or triggered Velzy awake, triggered this. What if somehow that device did trigger this? It's clear Velzy is the one doing this, but why? Why now? The call should have just been a message that, while, people were afraid of it, like, it should have just been a message, and where we are in our timeline, it should be close to completion. So I do hope we get to figure that out. Honestly, if it's not even a message, maybe the Smiley/Velzy that I'm interacting with now is the finality of the message, right? Here it is. It's manifesting, and it can manifest in Corru because I'm interacting with a Corru cyst. That's why it's here. My only then question would become, why do we want communications? And at that point, maybe it just wants to communicate with the Obelisk? Because the Obelisk are gone here. It knows I'm an interloper. I'm pretty sure it could tell I'm not what it wants. I'm not anything back home. I don't think humans are what did the pain and betrayal. So anyways, those are just some thoughts. I'm gonna stop yapping. Let's get into this because we got, I don't know why I save. I gotta save after my yap, otherwise I have to yap all over next episode. So we had more to talk with you, I remember. We approached Gelly again. What do I need? We got a bunch more, alright? Oh gosh, I love her design. She's so cool. Manufacturing! What can you tell me about the manufacturing tendril? Well, it is in the name, yes? It is home to a number of slow and fast foundry vats for varying levels of corru instruction. And that is where the grounds mindry override is, for distribution purposes. From here, I can feel that it is largely intact, but... Gelly shakes its head and receptors both, slowly. It pauses to think about something, then opens its pseudo-receptors in bafflement. The distribution network is behaving erratically. Someone must be fooling around with the override again. A troublesome Vel, no doubt. Haha! Yeah, doubt it. Is that just like I don't know what a Vel is. Some kind of creature. I scoff and glance at Gokfu, whose tightly wound receptors loosen in response. Heh. Sphere supply. What do you know about the sphere supply tendril? That is where essential metals are processed, and sphere is grown for this segment of the embassy. Sphere! Okay, it is grown. It is the copper mushroom stuff that, like, I remember they mentioned that. It is like the metal fungi stuff that gets grown, right? Refined corusistic fuel food, also currency. Interesting. Well, because sphere is the currency. Yeah. Okay, cool. Additionally, it has a storage chamber equipped with dual microconnectors for remote delivery. Oh yeah, and that's what we need, right? I'm a little hazy on the details, but we do need that to connect more people to the time stopper, right? Reckless technology, ignorant of history. What the hell? Why is this inherited context so biased? Ignorant of history, huh? A technology fresh from the Jut's receptors. Oh gosh. I wonder if I'm getting inherited. I wonder if even the inherited context is inherited, like from the Mind Spike, is inherited from Akazet's opinions. Microconnectors? Oh yes, Akazet. It is an exciting development. It is like using the contrivance for small, mundane materials. I do not know the specifics myself, but Gazri, a friend of mine, was the proponent of those. That does not seem very safe. Well, it is still a new technology. I heard about those on the network. A Vaznian development from Ukazny Ozo, ironically. Is that a person? That's a city. Origin of dual pulse weaponry. Oh boy, they're using the dual for a lot of things. Kind of weird thinking even about what dual is, but it does allow them to create portals and stuff. It's just like a plane of existence, I'd imagine, that they're tapping into for stuff. Typical alien stuff, you know? Though the implementation seemed promising. It seems reckless to use them in the domain of the Bright Cousins. Why? Do not worry, it is perfectly safe. Though I cannot clearly perceive what is happening within that tendril right now. I wonder if the device that we gave Gordon had utilized any of this technology, because Akazet had no idea what, I don't think Akazet had a clue about what she even handed over and what it could do. Clearly, Akazet didn't even know what microconnectors are, right? Because there is a strange interference originating from it. I suppose that is why I cannot contact anyone, in fact. Could you go tell them to stop that? What? Is that where the signal could be coming from? Oh, is that what she's saying? Oh wait, now we're bringing the dual into this. That tendril, we're talking about the sphere tendril still, I think? Yeah, because we also have microconnectors for delivery, like remote delivery of sphere, I guess? Tozek thinks it's reckless, Gelly says it's safe. I trust Tozek. So the strange interference is originating from the tendril? I would have thought it'd be the grounds mind, yeah? Yeah. Okay, so this is something that's confusing. I feel like this is a clue. No, the groundsminder sigil we saw before demands it must be the groundsmind. Regardless, this warrants investigation. It does. That aside, it could be a valuable resource for the creation of our armaments. Interesting. I'm so interested. What lies within the minor operations tendril? A wealth of interesting research. It contains the side projects and lesser divisions within the golem maintenance team. A large number of chambers float around the corru of that tendril, but only a few are directly connected at a time on the others, as the others are on hold. Presently, the connected divisions are... Oh, let me see. Galley's gaze defocuses and its suited receptors slowly close with concern. I love it. I love your expressions. How funny. Deconstruction, dual development, friends, translation. They appear to be connected, but are nearly all affected by some sort of blockage. I wonder what they got up to in there. Haha! Oh dear, you really not know what kind of situation we're in. Little golem, I think. I assume that blockage is us falling apart. You may only be able to reach a few of them for now. Interesting. I will alert the groundsmind. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so hold on. We have... So I can find deconstruction, dual development, friends? I don't know what friends means. Translation. Dual development is interesting. I feel like maybe that has something to do with all the tech that maybe we'll learn something about all the tech. And what could have caused this. That will not be necessary. We can fix it. Oh, alright, thank you. The golem smiles widely at me, blindly accepting my blatant lie. Translation. A strange operation to have in a golem maintenance floor. Perhaps they were preparing some sort of new translation golem. It may not be of great use to us now, but perhaps we should at least fetch some of the archival data if any is intact. A great amount of work between divisions was done to decipher so many languages of the cousins. It would be a tragedy if any were lost. Of course, this is only secondary to preventing the structure from collapsing as a whole. Yeah. Thank you, Gelly. Oh, Akazit! All of the minor operations have direct connections to the archival veins. Once the area is stabilized, we could go see if anything there would be of use to us. I know the Dual Development Division has some interesting projects. They might come in handy now. Interesting. Yes, we should. Gosh. This is so ominous. So, manufacturing for supplier operations. We have a lot of stuff to do. I don't know how many episodes it's going to take me because I love yapping throughout all these episodes. And oh gosh. Like I just yap at the beginning of them all. Alright, Milza, examine. That's just you regularly, I think. I saw those already. How you doing, Milza? A new kid on the block, huh? Milza fidgets with her claws, her receptors clasped with anxiety. When she notices my approach, she ceases, standing at attention with her receptors open. Akazit, hello. Oh boy. Remote operation. Milza! What kind of remote work did you do? You were a coordinator, yes? Oh, yes! I kept watch over the surface around Akanova with the rest of my team. Do you recall the early coordination pods? Oh, what does this say? It's a cave city. Before groundsmindry had even been tried, haha. Our minds were projected to airborne surface drones where we guided runners and, well, since I was the only Tur, I typically handled all the casualty trauma cases. Okay, Tur, like Kazki and Milza. I think I like Tur. I don't know. I still don't know. I'm trying to infer what Tur are like or what they do. I think I've kind of missed what that is, but whatever it is, I like it because I like Kazki and Milza. You know, when only part of a team was lost. All too well. Surface trauma paralysis is far deadlier than any lone predator. Oh! Ah, does that mean you wielded one of the more heavily armed drones? Oh, yes! I see. Perhaps we could construct a drone for you here. Yes, the time stopper could allow you to fight on two fronts. Immediately something in her stance changes. That flightiness from before slightly fades. The notion emboldens her! Double exclamation. You're right! Even a small one could change our odds. Still, it is like an echo of my larval life. Velzy's fondness for repetition is truly nauseated. Truly. Theories. You have any theories? That's good. Gosh, I think talking is gonna take too long. That I'm gonna have to call it for the night before I'm able to continue on. Milza! I know what may test her allegiance. If she is within the conflict, maybe she has a clue. Do you have any theories on what may be happening? The source of this madness? Do you know what it is? Shoot, that just spilled out. I did not mean to say it like that. Fuck. Velzy, strike me now. I am so stupid. Sorry, I mean... She sees the recoiling twist in my receptors, signaling the slightest confusion in hers. Did that not even seem strange to her? I must suppress my panic. Good Akazit, you do a lot of things I wouldn't do if I were you. It's funny. I have my suspicions. This is surely the work of saboteurs, whether it be one terrible mind or a collective. They are betrayers, throwing everything we have worked for away. To what service I cannot say, but this is far too directed for it to be anything else. I see. You're suspicious of Gakfu? Milza. About you and Gakfu. There's a sort of frustrated curl that forms in the tendrils of her receptors. Have we not resolved this? If she is your friend and you trust her, I will too. I cannot spend any time thinking about this, given what we must do. Ah, well said. There's little room to interrogate her further. Perhaps this was her intention. No, I'm letting that stupid cyst get to me again. You have not stopped thinking about this cyst ever. If I pry further, it may place us as foes, whether she is within the conflict or not. For now, things must be as simple as they seem. Yes, a simple cultural dispute. Of course. Alright, thanks, Milza. Okay, you guys. We'll talk to you guys. We'll mine cores. Itzel and Carrick briefly debodied. Well, that means they get into a new body. Itzel and Carrick chitter to one another quietly. My approach brings that to a slow halt, and they turn to face me. Akazit! How beholds you? Hi, Akazit. Oh boy, we have a lot. I can ask you, or ask theories. Let's ask theories in general. Akazit, don't mess it up this time. Carrick, Itzel! Do you have any ideas on what might be happening? They exchange brief gazes, and I can tell by Carrick's slight backwards receptor movement they have truly no idea, but Itzel speaks up. It is a little out there, but I was thinking, what if this is some sort of rogue echo that is spread across the collective? Would explain the connection to equipment grounds mindry does not usually reach, and also the hijacking of the core. I think I've already have my theory. So I guess I'm just interested to hear everyone else's, but they're all gonna be different. And they're not all gonna be right. But I will listen. Still, there's no precedent for any sort of echo malfunction at this scale, so... Yes, that makes sense. If an attack on all of us were to be conducted, it would definitely be through the collective. Everything routes through it. It is the single greatest point of failure. Can that animate corru bodies though? Haha, well, there are greater ones, but it is a big one. It's like I said though, I would only partially explain what is happening. For example, why did the second iteration of the signal affect you more strongly than us? Yep, I think I've got that. More corru for it to contact? Or maybe it's only, yeah. Anyway, that is the best I have for now. I like you leave a sneaky little hint there. I've already figured you out, but I like that in case you didn't. There's a clue. I feel like I figured that out. I'm sure the grounds mindry will give us some real answers. Agreed. Let's talk about construction with Carrick. You seem to know much about core system construction, especially with Aspire. What is it that you did before all this? You lived in the research segment with us, right? I did, my friend. In these recent eyes, I have focused upon designing schematics for polygonation towers. That's probably why we have never met. I spent most of my time prospecting for locations and then preparing polygonation designs. You see, the terrain on this planet is so varied, no one design will do. Oh, and before that, I did help with the growth of the embassy. Not since the eyes when Velzy beheld the bare spire seed, though. Oh, you've been here since the beginning? Haha, hardly. I was here in only the most technical sense. Much of that time was spent waiting or hibernating. Spire construction is not very exciting. Oh, that's cool. So you... So creating... I don't know, still don't know what polygonation is. But you did help with the growth of the embassy. It also says it takes a long time waiting or hibernating. Which is interesting because they did build a second one of these afterwards. A second embassy. I need to know why that happened. That's so weird. Okay, I see. Let's talk about points of interest with Itzel. Itzel! This place is practically your home. Is there anything we should watch for? Perhaps any locations to find armaments or schematics? Oh, yes! Beyond the override, which supersedes all else, manufacturing has a few vats we can use to create things. The minor operations tendril has some archival connections that may lend us schematics. Oh, and the spur tendril will grant us a pool of resources to create with. It is not as much as if we were on, say, the materials segment, but since we've worked on so many golems down here, we have our own mini supply. Okay, cool. We even have our own preprocessors. Some pride is carried with Itzel's words, enough for me to pay it mind. But as I do, Itzel suddenly withdraws, their eyes drifting around. Well, had. Okay, what happens to the preprocessors? The receptors settle into a sorrowful collapse. Thank you, Itzel. Oh, is it because they all... Yeah. It's because the building's falling apart. We will get through this. Yes, they have seen us cut down the animated remains of their team. What are they supposed to feel? What do I say? Any support I offer will be washed away by the blood of any further husks we must fight. I briefly shift my gaze to Karak and gesture a receptor covertly. They understand, I think, to help brace Itzel. This is not easy for any of us, but Itzel knew each of these people. I love the character writing in this game. Itzel! Could you remind me again what your Kiwi looks like? I nearly said looked. Oh. 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 Well, now I feel bad. That's so sad. This is so sad. The odds of her still being intact are not great. Especially with these new monstrosities. Oh, yes, of course. Duskalvi. She's a Kiv with a broken receptor. It is a memento of a heroic deed she achieved on the surface, you see. Well, that sounds very nice, Itzel. A distinct and eccentric mark, enough to identify her in its own right, and is probably enough to watch out for. She's an expert with remote lifting tools, so if she is still on the segment, she is probably in manufacturing somewhere. If Velzy installs a vision, she has been smashing these creatures with ease, no doubt. Sorry, Velzy instills a vision. Once we find her, our odds will grow so much greater. I feel like this is such a setup for tragedy. They certainly will. I don't even think any of us make it out of here, but it's possible. A second embassy was built, but none left was heard of Akazet's team after basically the collapse. Let's talk about Gelly, since I guess that you do live around here. That's why you were familiar with her before. Itzel, what do you know about Gelly? Is it usually so, what's the word? Ignorant? Naive? There's something strange about its echo. I don't even really know what, but it is like it looked through me for a moment. Oh. Okay. That's weird. Because the interloper, me, thought that it was looking through him to see Okay, that'd be... Okay. So Akazet felt it too. I thought like... I mean, I guess that was part of the memory itself. Would that be... Huh. This is strange. Now I wonder why... Now I wonder, is she actually aware of the interloper if Akazet is mentioning this, like, looking through me? Or was Gelly somehow, like, the craziest explanation would be Gelly somehow was looking through Akazet into the future to be like, oh, I know that an interloper is going to be seeing this memory, and that's what I'm looking through. That's why, that would explain how the interloper feels it, and Akazet also feels it. Akazet seems to say... And Akazet seems to think it's something about its echo. Oh, Gelly is extremely smart, usually. Maybe there's just some damage from the signal? But I know what you mean. When I connected to Gelly for that instant, there was a strange and terrible vision. A dream, like it said. It was so brief and so strong. A pale sphere of light, glowing brightly in the thickest fog. Or was it fog? I could not tell for certain, but it obscured nearly all vision beyond a few steps. But yes, a dark, cold place, and from the light slowly came a strange flickering tendril which touched my head. Then the vision ended, and Gelly awoke. Oh? A strange and terrible vision, like, of the future? Interloper? I have no idea what to, I have no idea what to make of this at the moment. Is that? It is not normal. Echoes do not have dreams or visions, heck is it? I trust Gelly, but we should watch it carefully. Okay, that is like unusually affected. Unusually affected. What did your smile look like again? I'm not gonna say anything. It's stupid if I say anything. Can we talk to you two? Oh my goodness, I've been recording for 30 minutes already and I haven't left this stupid room. I haven't left this stupid... Okay, we're gonna see. I don't care how long it takes me. I cannot go to bed tonight without seeing one of these rooms. Okay, we only got 4 of them, and one of them is where I came from. So we got Spur somewhere, we got... Yeah. I think this is the one we came from? Yeah, personnel. So Spur, minor operations, and manufacturing. Let's talk to you two real quick. Gaku, how's it go? Oh, oops. I just told you to talk to your cloak. You just said sure. No problem. Why does that even matter? Does it? Can I talk to you about your cloak? I mean, I guess yours is just like the... I mean, maybe people just find it annoying, I guess. I don't know. As I approach Gokfu, she dips her head in her scepters respectfully. Though their playful twist has been undone in light of what we have seen. What do you need, Akazit? Theories. I'm gonna lead with that. Gokfu! Do you have any theories on what is happening? Not really. Well, I guess I do have one. No, it is stupid. Even if Akoa turned on us, how could she seize the containers and lamps? Their ability to receive grounds mindry is so limited. Oh gosh, I forget which one. What are Vakoa? She? Who's Vakoa, I mean? She and they. She, they. Like me! The big grounds mindry relays dotted throughout the spire. Last I felt, this one follows an archival pattern rather than a relay pattern. As I listen, her explanation crawls to a stop and she watches me strangely. I accidentally formed the slightest curl in my receptors. Too vague for her to tell why, but she cuts herself off. Well, why was there a curl in the receptors? How are you responding? Is it because you mentioned your illegal ability? To put it simply, I have no ideas. We just have to stop it and get out. Agreed. Grounds mindry? I have been wondering, you have had your grounds mindry this whole time, yes? Have you ever used it before? So we mean like remote manipulation and instruction of acoustic devices, partial translation, inherited description, generated noun. Okay. So you're remotely manipulating it. Well, that is definitely strange. With us, or in the research tendril? I never even had the slightest suspicion. Well, Akazit, the punishment far outweighed any benefit to using it. Even when I was alone, or lazy. It is a tool that has laid dormant for a long time. To say nothing of Akoa's attentiveness. Besides, I must admit to you, that is part of why I took this position. Oh, is Vakoa the grounds mind? I think I got that too. Inherited context! I wanted to get away from everything. Everything I had involved myself in back home. You did not simply climb into a mind core with grounds mindry by accident. Climb into a mind core? This expression is throwing me off, but I'll take it as expression. Still, it is like I said. Even if I have brought us so far with it, it must remain a secret at all costs. I sense a pointed edge in her words, just when she nearly opened up even more. Of course. About Melsa, she, I I keep my voice down, but even still she cuts me off. Do you want to feed this flame, Akazet? The smoke would suffocate us. There is not just cynicism in her words. It is concern for me, too. What am I to make of this? How can I trust either of them at this point? But she is right. Yeah, maybe they're both in on it and they know of each other. Gosh, Gokfu, I hope you're chill, Gokfu. Your tendrils are so cool. We must work harmoniously to survive. Of course, ... Let's go talk to Tazik. Tazik eyes me expectantly as I approach him. Where he normally might wait for me to address him, he instead greets me. Akazet. Okay, we got a lot here. Let's start with theories. Tazik! What do you think is happening? Do you still think it is too early to tell? Well, we have seen that the signal, whatever it is, seizes things at random. Sometimes with grounds mindery, other times without. But it is only ever corru unoccupied by a mind, be it coup or strong echo. Oh, is that why the bartender didn't get affected? It's mindless corru. Tazik's smart. I'm closer to Tazik's theory so far already. Have insight as well. Movement was fine when repaired until the groundsmite took notice. Yeah. So, common idiom, remember. Remember as well. Movement was fine when repaired until it's a conscious. So it's like it's got an attention and it's moving its attention from corru to corru. That's a good point, Tazik, actually. I wasn't thinking of that. The barfriend did not attack us either. Oh. Well, if Movefriend, I guess if Movefriend was co-opted, then Barfriend, I guess, could have been, but just wasn't. Interesting. So all said, it is clear to me that the grounds mindery is compromised, but certain constructs with weaker echoes, like the containers and lamps, are seized without grounds mindery. What if the true cause is the signal itself? That's what I'm thinking. I mean, something extra could have happened, maybe? That triggered this all to begin with? Maybe with Kavik? Maybe with Gordon's device? Maybe with the Dole? Or this Dole technology? Or something, but I like where Tazik's at. What if Vakoa had exited the grounds mindery for one reason or another? Then the signal came and used it to warp our golems to its purpose. Would Vakoa have to leave for that to occur? I assume the signal would be strong enough, but maybe it's not. If the signal is the Velzy entity that I interact with, then it is, to an extent, not very powerful. And if it can't control everything at once, and it's got a attention that it moves around, then that itself is a limitation of it. This is a workable theory, Tazik. I like this. But how? Grounds mindery requires too much mental focus for it to be something like that, right? Tazik simply waves his receptors negatively. Whatever is happening is reaching far beyond any limitation I was familiar with. You felt the meaning behind the signal too, did you not? It was beyond full understanding. And the way it invaded our minds directly, even rendering us into unwilling unconsciousness, yeah. To lesser echoes, like the simple ones within containers and lamps, even the attendants in these golems we face now, it may have completely overridden their echoes with whatever purpose the signal truly meant to impart. That's a good point too. It could have imparted a purpose in them, and that's how it's operating. Rather than taking direct control? Although, gosh, this is so interesting. I love Tazik. Okay, I said I wouldn't be listening much to their theories. I like Tazik's theories. This theory is the best I have for now. Either way, I'm certain that seizing the grounds mindery will at least partially end this madness. It has to be. Anyone you know? What am I asking about? Is there anyone we should watch for? Any friends of yours or anything? I know his relationships are a sensitive subject. They must be even more so now. Still, I must ask. No. An answer without delay. It would be foolish to pry further. Oh gosh, Nat, you're so mysterious, Tazik. Open up to me, please. I might not have much time longer with you. Tazik, is there anything we should watch for here? Any equipment you saw on your recent visit? Tazik's attention drifts away for a blink. All equipment of particular note is in that troublesome room. That impressor is all that comes to mind. The sphere room? And of course, the large construction golem they were putting together. It will not be a simple foe for us to face. Oh shit. There's a construction one in there. Is this minor operations or sphere? I think it was sphere. Is where the dual, like, repressor or whatever we need is. Oh. Still, this may not be a full engineering floor, but there are vats we can use for construction, lesser and greater. If there's not much of note to find, we will need to make our own equipment of note. Alright. How much longer will the time stopper serve us remotely? We are some distance away, yet it seems to be working exactly the same. The time stopper's effectiveness is not exactly linear. It uses a highly efficient, near instantaneous form of dual transmission, similar to the kind used to connect floating coup limbs to their bodies, but with more force. Oh, that's a thing? Your limbs actually do float around? That is so cool. I was kind of assuming these are all kind of like avatars that are customizable in the corru or whatever, but like, it kind of seems like they might be a lot closer to, like aside from being 2D, I assume like the floating stuff were like, stylistic avatar choices, I guess. But that's pretty cool. Interesting. So it will work until it simply does not. Before we descend again, to be safe, we will need to find a way to bring it closer to the ground's mindry floor. I see. Oh yeah, we gotta bring the time stopper down? Or you mean just like connecting to it more? Okay, I'm a bit confused here. But I've got the spirit. Let's... Gosh, we have so many options. That's manufacturing, and this is gonna be minor operations. Well, I'm gonna save after all that talking in case I doubt that affects anything. Can I approach the grand door? Let's see what that does. We approach the great doors. Components are melted, fused into one another. Parts have bulged outwards from blunt trauma within. Dead metal reinforcements jut out. It's like a cast. From particularly damaged areas. We will need to repair it and be ready before we can enter. There's also the matter of the operations tendril. What if there are survivors in there? It is unlikely given this chaos, but I cannot leave anyone behind. Okay, I assume that's gonna stay there. I'll examine that, but later. I gotta leave this room in this episode, okay? Or I'm gonna go insane. Okay, I'm actually gonna go insane and manufacturing. Let's take a look. Okay. Well, that's a person, a husk. That's a cube, not a sphere cube. Beautiful. Oh gosh, we got lesser vats, greater vats. Please don't tell me you're, her. Itsil's Kiwi. Should be present somewhere. You don't have a messed up tendril, do you? You look more like the other ones I'm fighting as like a sort of generic enemy. What's in this room I can interact with? I don't think there's actually much in this room I can interact with. What's that? Instruction workspace. I mean, I'll examine it from here. Recurring scenery, visual display utilizing luminescent corru swarms. Favored by multitasking jut. Interesting. It would be more interesting if I could walk up to it and see it. Is this something else? It's also an instruction workplace. Oh gosh, the music is crazy. Sphere supply, we can go there from here. That looks like it just says... It looked exactly like the symbol I just walked in on, but I'm wrong. Distribution, archival connection. Oh gosh, this is gonna take... This is crazy. I mean, I think I've exhausted most of my dialogue now. I mean, Milta's here. How are you doing, Milta? Okay, that's good. That's just what I've already done. Can I get around you? I don't think I can. I'm just honestly just scanning the room. I don't think there's much in this room. So you know what? We shall face you, husk. You don't have a broken tendril, do we? It's observing time! Okay, lovely. Let's get into at least a fight, you know? Fight before this episode ends. Focus. Spy. Who should we target? We should target Repair Friend because you seem like you're their support. Always target the supports. Alright, Tazek, you focus as well. Ah! Oh gosh, I love fighting in this game. Just because I get to just sit here and just jam out to like absolutely sick stuff. Sick soundtrack here. You have felt worse indeed. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna inflict you with puncture. Don't need to spy you. We'll stab you. Oh, that's a crit. Die. Yes, Meltza. Hell yeah. I like your energy you bring to the party. What's quick mend? Oh shoot, you got 5 puncture on Akazit. Tazek, you'll survive. Quick mend Akazit, please. Golem melts into a more aggressive shape. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. Repair friend feels way better. Yeah, no. I ain't letting that happen. Stun. Oh shoot. Vulnerable? I hate vulnerable. Okay, actually you have to quick mend yourself. Wait, this might get harder. This might get harder. Oh shit. Stop focusing, Tazek! Okay. Okay, please. Just, okay, if I crit, it's +1 evasion to allies. Okay, thank goodness. Oh, no. Save yourself, please. Okay, you become even more aggressive, or is that the same aggressive? Oh, repair friend's down. Oh, thank goodness. You have evasion up, but you have spikes. So you return incoming damage, don't you? I think you're just gonna keep spamming that, and I don't think there's much I can do about that. So, we're gonna focus to wait out your evasion. We are going to focus because we want evasion. And then as for you, quick mend yourself again. Okay, Tazek dodges. That's good. Okay. Overwhelm. Okay, you still got 1 turn of spikes. Let's stun you if we can. I don't like you. Miltz is emboldened. That's good. You know what, Miltz? Just go for it. +4. Thanks. We're all evasion as well. I knew that would happen. Take you down. Heals. We're doing great. Hey, Husk. Alright, we're making you vulnerable just because we can. And you're stunned. We get a free turn, right? Bam, dead. And dead. Lovely. Oh gosh, I like Miltza. And look at that! You notice, others file in to assess the situation. I notice Taza considering the side rooms. 2 are labeled as the vat rooms, lesser and greater. Greater foundry vats will take too long for our needs, but if the lesser foundry vats are still functional, we can use them to our advantage. Karek skitters ahead, prodding at the damaged door opposite the entrance. It looks unhealthy, the different parts fuse together. Karek waves a leg to rid it of some sludge. Then, they climb up atop the nearby desk. Oh. Are you gonna fix the door? Ah, I thought so. It still soon follows. Akazit, the door to the override is partially sludged. Do you have any explosives? What? Will that not just cause a greater collapse? Not like you think, my friend. I've done a great deal of structural management in my death. In your sleep? Altered living state. Okay, cool, I guess. Or do you mean like as a mind core? Like, what does this mean? With thanks to the intelligent structuring of these tendrils, a directed explosion, especially with Kavrukas, will allow us a degree of safety. Do I have any left? If this was the research segment, this would be an issue. Here it is fine. Any alternatives, Gakvu? I cannot help with this one. My tricks only work on living Corru. Ah. How many Kavrukas would do it? To clear this door and open a hole, 3 should be safe. Scan over the things I carry and eye the others connected with me. Yes, we have enough. Oh, good. Thank goodness. Excellent! Come over here when you're ready to proceed. We could do this right away, but it may not be a bad idea to check the side rooms. Okay, we're gonna check the side rooms. This is the door to the, override. Oh. Well, that's important. Like the grounds mindery override? I didn't realize that's what was in here. I honestly came in here because I wanted to see, I was looking for the Kiwi. It seals Kiwi. That's the important bit, right? That's this first supply. Oh, there's, a symbol on here. I wonder what of. This is where I came from, right? The lobby. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what is the least intrusive thing I could... So lesser vats, possibly useful. Greater vats, less useful. That we need to use the explosion for, and that is the other room. So the least useful room I can get into before ending the episode is the greater vats, because we can't use them, I think. Nothing in here. Oh, I could see the world around. I can render the world. What is greater terminal? Okay, wait. Where did I come from? I came from this way, right? Yes, I came from this way. Wow. This is a cool terminal. We got language there. These are cave lights. I assume those are all the same. We got cubes, of course, just like in Portal. Let's see. Interface for an organ extending beyond the walls. Allows for massive detailed formations. I do not really know how this one works. I only ever used lesser vats. This is Funfront talking, right? Yeah? Interesting. Interesting. Let's approach the greater terminal. These are the greater vats. I think they're used only for larger, time-consuming builds. What use would we have for this? Okay. Well. Now that I got all this talking out of the way, I will say, I think I'm a lot more free for next episode to get into things even more by actually running around. I did not expect it to take so long, but hey, my theories are evolving, everything's evolving, and the world is revolving. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.